beautifully charred beef and chorizo taco filling. This is my way of doing it really easily in a wok, and then we're going to turn it into my best weeknight beef and chorizo tacos. So my universal stir fry tips apply whether or not you're doing a traditional stir fry or not. So I'm actually going to do a taco here, but I'm going to use the same principles of using my wok to its most effective by doing some really good technique when we actually get to searing the taco filling. But first of all, I need to make something spicy because I'm always making things spicy, of course. I'm gonna make a little salsa. So I've got some tomatoes, jalapenos, some garlic. One of the things I really loved about making this book was actually kind of taking all the things that I actually use my wok for at home. So doing things like seared sumac chicken, which we made, or doing the smoked salmon, or even this taco filling, and telling you guys about it. So even though these recipes are a little different to what you would normally see me cooking, I'm really happy to be able to share them and to be able to give you a little insight into the techniques that I use at home. So I've always loved the process of making books. I think I made my first one about 13 years ago, and I love everything from coming up with the concepts to writing the recipes, testing them, researching them, which is one of the reasons why it was such a dream come true when I actually started my own publishing company. So that was really amazing, but everything from the ground up. I love the testing itself, creating these recipes. I do most of my writing at like 4:30 in the morning. If you're a mom, you know that you don't get hardly any time to yourself at home. So 4:30 has been when I've been writing this book. So there's been a lot of caffeine involved. A little bit of garlic here, a little bit of onion, and some chili. So a lot of these recipes come from the way I actually use my wok at home, and I think all my books start with how I cook at home and what I like to eat, and then we go from there. But these sorts of recipes came about because I literally use my wok every day. It sits on my stovetop. I just love what it does to food. It transforms everything. It gives it flavor, gives it char, gives it so many things. I just love it. So yeah, I guess this idea and this concept came from wanting to share that with everyone. And this is jalapenos in here. Now you could add more and make it a bit spicy. This is something I like to give to my kids though, so I'm gonna keep it on the milder side. A little bit of salt, I need some lime. Now my herb of choice here is coriander. Now I know some of you call this the devil herb. If that's you, simply replace it with some mint. That is going to be just as nice. Let's give all that a mix. I will typically always make something really light and fresh to go with something that's heavy like a taco filling. Even if I equate it to if I'm making a Sri Lankan curry or an Indian curry, I love to have that kind of hit of tomatoey or herby kind of freshness at the end. So that is my salsa done. One more little condiment here. I'm gonna make a really quick sort of crema, which is just a little thinned out sour cream in this case. All right, so with this taco filling, I kind of wanted that, you know, Tex-Mex flavor where you have that dried spice, and I'm gonna also add some extra flavor here by not just using mince, but also chorizo sausage. Okay, so the reason why this is worth doing, even though it looks a little messy, is that you have so much flavor that someone has gone to the trouble of putting into that sausage, and I'm cheating a little by using that up here without having to add too much extra stuff. Just have to get my hands a little bit dirty, but that's not too bad. So I'm not finished with the little tricks here yet. I do have a couple left up my sleeve for this taco filling, but first of all, I want to get my wok really ripping hot. We've talked about this before, but this time we're gonna do a technique that I use for any mince meat stir frying. And yes, there is a specific technique that will make your mince meat beautiful in the wok as opposed to sweaty in the wok. So this is what I do. I get the wok really, really hot. And actually the wok is such a great pan to be doing mince because as you'll see, we'll get this really great caramelization going on. So first of all, I'm waiting for this scary smoke, which we've got. And then I'm gonna put my oil in. My beef mince goes in. Spread it out as thin as you can. Get lots of mince, getting that searing heat straight away. Okay, and now don't touch it. Now, if any of you have watched my hoisin beef noodle video, you would know this technique. This is the hamburger technique, or the hard sear. What we're waiting for is the mince to smell like it's so beautifully charred that it's like you're cooking a hamburger. So you're waiting for that. Okay, so have a look here, and I have resisted the urge to touch anything, and here we are. I can smell hamburgers. And now if I flip this over, there we go. So look at that color. So that color is flavor. That's what you call the Maillard reaction in action. So the Maillard reaction is when the proteins, amino acids, they all caramelize and they create these extra aromas and flavors that you wouldn't get if you hadn't have been patient and waited for that beautiful reaction. I'm going to throw my chorizo bits and pieces in. All right, so this is what I'm talking about, guys. If you've done the really good hard sear technique, you will have a taco filling that's starting to look like this. No moisture down the bottom, beautiful, like caramelized meat. This smells so good. I haven't even added the spices yet. One more thing I like to do with my taco filling at home is actually add in a little bit of something that's healthy. So I put chickpeas in here because they have a really great flavor. They soak up all of the spices and I feel a little bit more virtuous about my taco filling. So I get my chickpeas here and I've got a potato masher, also not something you would usually see as a wok of cooking implement, but it actually helps to break down those chickpeas a little and get them smushed in with my beef and chorizo. And the spices, some smoked paprika, cumin, and garlic powder. A little salt. All right, let's build some tacos. Building the taco, I have some white corn tortillas here, some iceberg lettuce. Now this is like a Tex-Mex style of taco. I'm not claiming that this is the most authentic Mexican taco. This is just the taco that I like to make at home when I'm with the kids on a weeknight. So a little bit of my mixture here. Look at that. Oh, it's beautifully caramelized. I get so excited about these things. Okay, a little bit of my salsa, cheese, and a little bit of that crema that we made, some coriander. And for me, that is such an awesome weeknight taco. I'm gonna make a few more here just so my plate looks pretty for you all. All right, I am supremely happy with this. I do like a little squeeze of lime on my tacos, so I'm gonna do that. Now I get to eat it, yay! This is my favorite part. Oh, that is just so good. That beautifully crusty seared meat with the chorizo and the chickpeas and the spices. Oh my goodness, so good. Ah, so that little extra bit of technique makes such a difference. Yum.